kill. He was somehow able to buy weapons and ammo.
And there was nothing in our databases that precluded him from purchasing a firearm.
The Air Force has acknowledged Kelly's criminal history was never entered into the FBI's National Criminal Database, a history that includes his escape from this mental health facility in 2012. Kelly, described as a danger to himself and others after sneaking firearms onto Holman Air Force Base, attempting to carry out death threats against superior officers. Another part of the tragic puzzle, his cell phone, which federal agents are trying to unlock in Quantico, Virginia.
Unfortunately, at this point in time, we are unable to get into that phone.
A key, they say, to ultimately getting into the mind of a killer.
And the vice president is scheduled to be here a bit later in the day. He'll meet with family members of the victims as well as survivors in Area Hospital 32. Now, the vice president will be here a bit later in the day. He'll meet with family members of the victims and survivors in area hospitals before speaking with law enforcement and those first responders. In Sutherland Springs, Texas, Jay Gray, KCRA 3 News.
On two closely watched elections, Democrats win the gubernatorial races in New Jersey and Virginia. These are the party's first major win since President Trump took office. Aixa Diaz joins us in Washington this morning with why these victories are considered so significant.
Teo, experts say the races in Virginia and New Jersey carry national importance. They say they could be a signal of how voters feel about President Trump and could be a sign of what's to come. In Virginia, Democrat Ralph Northam won the governor's race, beating GOP lobbyist and former George W. Bush aide Ed Gillespie. While President Trump had encouraged Virginians to vote for the Republican, he then distanced himself from him after the loss, tweeting, "Ed Gillespie worked hard, but did not embrace me or what I stand for." In New Jersey, Democrat Phil Murphy defeated Lieutenant Governor Kim Guadagno. New Jersey returns to Democratic control after 8 years under Republican Governor Chris Christie, a supporter of President Trump.
It's an important bellwether to suggest what the state of our politics are headed into the midterm elections.
In Virginia, the newly elected governor will have veto power over new state and congressional electoral maps. In Washington, Aixa Diaz, KCRA 3 News.
The next major election is the 2018 midterms, when Democrats hope to take control of the House and Republicans seek to expand their narrow Senate majority. Well, voters in Northern California also decided some key issues. Modesto has 3 city council seats up for grabs. In District 2, incumbent Tony Madrigal is leading with 70%. In District 4, incumbent Bill Zoslaki is leading with 79%. And in District 5, incumbent Jenny Kenneyer is leading with 65%. Modesto also voted on a tax on cannabis businesses. Right now, yes votes are leading with 82%. Stanislaus County voted on a library tax extension. Yes votes are leading this one with 81%. And in Calaveras County, yes on a special tax to fund emergency response services is leading with 60%, but Measure E requires 2/3 to pass. Election officials will continue to count mail-in ballots in coming days. Reaction continues to pour in the wake of the plane crash that killed retired pitcher Roy Halladay. Vacaville-based Icon Aviation issued a statement saying its employees are just devastated. Halladay got the plane less than a month ago, and it crashed yesterday in Florida. The tiny A-5 amphibious craft is made for recreational pilots. In May, the chief designer of the plane and the company's director of engineering died in one of them. It crashed during a flight at Lake Berryessa. Federal investigators blamed pilot error. Icon says it will do all it can to support the investigation of Halladay's crash. The area in Sacramento is overdue for a makeover, and the city is asking the community to come help. Here's the area under review: 16th Street from H Street to Richards Boulevard. Proposed improvements include better sidewalks, lighting, and landscaping. The city is continuing its public outreach to find out what else people want to see there.
Right now it's so dark. When you're walking down here, it's dark. So if they add some lights, maybe.
Personally, I would love to see something beautified, the place lit up.
The light would help a lot more.
The project is still in the planning stages. The city is working to secure grant money. Construction likely won't begin until 2019. Sacramento County is launching a new multi-million-dollar commitment to get the homeless the help they need. Supervisors voted unanimously to approve $44 million for the mayor of Sacramento's Whole Person Care Project. A pilot program aims to expand outreach efforts, provide mental health and substance abuse services, and find permanent housing for the homeless. The 4-year program is scheduled to end in 2020. In Santa Clara County, the search continues for 2 inmates who escaped from a Palo Alto courthouse. Yesterday, the Sheriff's Department arrested 2 people connected with the escape. They include Marquita Kirk, seen here, and a 54-year-old man. They were both taken into custody. Investigators believe Kirk rented the U-Haul truck that Tramel McClue and John Bivens used to get away on Monday. Authorities say the inmates were in shackles and being escorted by a deputy when they ran through an emergency exit to a waiting car. They abandoned that car a few blocks away and then took off in a van like this one. Stock market expected to start mostly flat this morning. CNBC's Landon Dowdy has a look at the day ahead in business news.
Wall Street could tread water at the opening bell today. It was a mixed session yesterday. The Dow eked out a record close, while the Nasdaq did slip. Media stocks jumped on reports 21st Century Fox has been in talks to sell most of the company to Disney. There's no major economic data today, but we do get earnings from Wendy's and 21st Century Fox. The Dow rising 8 points to 23,557. The Nasdaq fell 18 to 6767. Also, watch shares of Snap today. They're down sharply in pre-market trading after the parent of Snapchat reported disappointing results last night. The company continues to struggle with fewer people signing up. CEO Evan Spiegel says Snapchat will redesign the app to be more like Facebook and Twitter, and he admits Snapchat, which is popular with teenagers, might be too difficult to understand or use. Meanwhile, Twitter has rolled out 280-character tweets to users worldwide following a testing period. Longer tweets will now be the standard in every language except for Chinese, Japanese, and Korean, where the 140-character limit will still apply. Twitter says Asian languages fit more thoughts into fewer characters. Twitter says testing shows that most people are still being brief in their posts. Only 1% of tweets hit 280 characters. With your CNBC Morning Business Report, I'm Landon Dowdy.
And coming up at 6:30, Kelly Brothers will have a look at the day's business news and take a look at how the markets are opening up this morning. Utility SMUD is urging people to check if they need to collect an unclaimed check. These checks are dated September 30th, 2014 or earlier. One of them is worth $2,100. Deadline to claim your money is running out. You have to call or submit a claim by December 22nd. You'll need the claimant's name, current and past address, and phone number. Now, to check if you're on SMUD's list, we do have a link on the KCRA3 app. Sparking a new national anthem debate, the reason one California group says we need to replace the Star-Spangled Banner.
And right now, seeing a lot of clouds outside, all signs of the pattern change headed our direction today. We'll take you through the timing of our storm track, how much rain is ahead, and where those snow levels will be at. Coming up in your complete forecast.
We're back now. Caught on camera, Hawaiian Airlines plane engine catching fire as it lands at Seattle SeaTac Airport. That'll scare you. Cell phone video taken from inside the airport shows bright flames coming from the jet as it taxis toward the gate. Hawaiian Airlines Flight 875 was a ferry flight from Payne Field, which is about 30 miles north of Seattle. There were only cabin crew aboard the plane at the time of the fire. No injuries were reported. The cause of the fire is under investigation this morning. In Portland, Oregon, a woman's recovering after she was hit in the neck with an arrow. Police say it happened Monday morning in broad daylight. 24-year-old victim was visiting a public park with friends and relatives when she was struck. The woman is expected to survive. Police say the victim and Archer knew each other. Still unclear exactly why she was shot with that arrow. The NAACP in California says our national anthem needs to go. Claims part of the song is racist. KCRA3's Dana Griffin found out why the organization says removing the Star-Spangled Banner altogether as our national anthem is the answer.
The country's most patriotic song, the Star-Spangled Banner, most recently caught up in the contentious NFL kneeling debate, is once again in the spotlight, this time recommended for removal as our national anthem.
We're protesting this racist song that has caused so much controversy in America.
California and Hawaii NAACP president and national board member Alice Huffman brought up the idea at a recent NAACP state convention.
We're not trying to protest the flag at all. We're just trying to get it removed so that whatever comes out in the future as a national anthem, we can all stand proudly and sing it.
She says the rarely sung third stanza of the Star-Spangled Banner references slaves, with the lines, "Their blood has washed out their foul footsteps pollution. No refuge could save a hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave."
There's no way you could think it meant anything great for African Americans.
I love the national anthem. It gives me chills every time I hear it.
20-year retired Air Force veteran Master Sergeant Ryan Peterson disagrees. And he teaches his JROTC students at Hiram Johnson High School to respect the flag and anthem with pride. Others are on the fence about the issue.
We've come to really appreciate it, but if it's going to offend a lot of people, but then again, we have things like the Redskins still, so.